Hey, this is Empyrion, and in this video I will tell you about everything you need to know about capital ships and how to build them and modify them to your heart's content and have them functional and working. So that's the major point right there, get them to function and work at the top efficiency, basically. So the first thing you're going to note is I'm not at my capital ship right now, but the capital ship has its own big, huge shield like this one here, and you can't upgrade it in the normal menus, but you can upgrade it to T2 using your multi-tool and your upgrade. So the thing that you can use to upgrade blocks that you probably never really do very much can be used on the same way to upgrade your shield to T2. And that's one of the first things you're going to want to do when you're building your ship is just to upgrade it right away to take the same size. You can see the stuff needed in red right there, and you can link to your cargo containers to do it, but I just don't have anything built right now. I just wanted to show you that, and that is how you can just simply upgrade your shields to T2. It makes a huge difference. It goes from 4K shields to like 32K shields, and I'll show you that right now. So once you're building your ship, you can take a quick look on my little motorbike here. Didn't really get to see that much, did you? But there's my capital ship, and you need a lot of guns when you're building it. So the first thing you're going to know is when you're in space and there's a ton of guys coming at you, you're going to get screwed. So build a lot of guns. Just a ton of turrets, a ton of guns everywhere on your ship, especially at the front where you're going to see guys first, and you need those lasers to take care of their shields, and you don't want to get raped right away, basically, by these guys if you come into the wrong system, or just some guy randomly comes up on you while you're trying to mine asteroids and stuff like that. Now the tools turret at the bottom here, I put at the bottom, it goes upside down like this, so it's not really good for upside down, and these things kind of suck. They have nice range on them, okay, but you can't move. The arc on these the turret weapons, is you can't even go down all the way, so you don't even get like a 90-degree down type thing. Yeah, this mic is kind of twitchy. It's so small. But yeah, the other thing to note is you're going to be using all your CPU power, T4 all the way, if you want any type of turning capabilities at all. Even then, because those RTS2s, they take like 1.2 something like that just to get there, and you have a 10 million max on your thing, so you're not going to be turning fast at all on your thing. So the next problem you're going to come across when you're building is the windows. So let's go over here and check them out right now. So the other thing to note on your windows is they are going to suck. So let's get my little drone out here. That'd be a little bit easier to navigate. Yeah, so these windows, they do not start off as clear. You have to use your multi-tool once again and go to change and rotate. And so if you didn't know this before, when you're on a window here, and it says right here, change on rotate, that it affects windows in their tints. So you don't have to use the key to change it. You just click on it and it changes their tint. The default is tinted, and you can't see crap in space. So that is the first, one of the major hurdles you're going to come across is your windows are not tinted. If you already know how to do this, then great. But when first time you're building your ship like this and you have to deal with tinted windows, you might not know that, and it could be a pain. So you're going to have to make sure your windows are not tinted so you can actually see. And it's just using your multi-tool. Once again, it actually has a function that they don't really tell you about. So after you have that basics done, you're going to want to build and have your ship airtight. So the airtight is the next problem right there. So the next thing you can do is make sure you're pointing at your ship and hit the N button. So the N brings up your debug mode, and just go over there to debug. And you can show your oxygen, but that doesn't really matter. That's after you have your ventilators up, and you can see how far your ventilators are working, just so you know. But you want to show the airtight. Now you show the airtight. Now let's exit there. That can move. Yeah, you show the air tightness, and it looks like big, huge green blocks here. This will show you what exactly is airtight and where your holes are. So I have my thing is right here. It is right here. So this is the way in, and right here. So it'll show you airtight. Open the door, so you can see inside your ship here what is airtight and what is not, and see exactly where your holes are in your ship. So when you're flying in space, you will know exactly what is causing your ship to not, get oxygen, why your oxygen isn't working, because you have a hole in your ship somewhere, or you have like it's still minus like negative 100 and something whatever degrees, and you don't know why. So this will help you out. And your debug mode is just N. Make sure you're targeting your ship and hitting the N button and going over to the debug tab and show your air tightness. The other problem is, what's not great about these things, the teleporters do not work with the shields on, but you can still save the game with the shields on. The thing is, if you save your game with your shields on and you're in space on your capital ship, you will spawn basically I spawn on top of my ship here, because this is outside the ship and that's closest where I was standing on there. You spawn outside your ship. So when you're building your ship, make sure you have a way to get into your ship from the top, because you have if you're on the if you're not in space and you're like, you know, in a planet's atmosphere or whatever, you'll spawn on top of your ship, and getting down on something this big is not easy. So your jetpacks might not work, or your ship might be in the air. It's one of those things. If your ship is in the air and you cannot reach your doorways, your landing gear to get in there, you're going to be screwed. You're going to try and jump off your ship and try and hang in there. Just be aware of that and don't screw yourself like I did. Just make no mistakes like that. So I had to add a little shuttle door hatch right here with an elevator going down, and you know, to make sure it's protected, I have it inside the before the airlock system right here, because this is not airlock tight. This is just an easy way to get in from the front, and of course the way in the back end to hold in the other stuff. So we can take a look at that. And so we covered the oxygen. We covered the stupid mechanics with your shields on when you load the game back up and you're not in there. The other, what else is there to cover? Let's get back on. See, look at this little bike here, right? The bare minimum to fly around. Very twitchy, but the weakest, easiest thing you can make is like 2 minutes in the factory to make it. But yeah. In the back here, we have our doorway and repair bay and enough room for 2 vehicles or more if I want to stack them in there and fall around. But yeah, trying to go fast and trying to get all the information I can on the basics. So let's land this thing. Anything that goes inside your bay here has to have landing gear to attach to it, or your ship will not take off. So let's go into the menu here on the thing here, and we can tell their shields. Oh, sorry, 3600. Sorry, not 3200. I'm used to the. I don't know why I said 32. Yeah, so your shield generator 2s are 3200, and I couldn't show the shields because my shields are buried inside the wall there. You know, just because that's what I did it. That's how I did it. So, yeah, once you have your ship and your thing, the other thing, one of the couple other things to note is the other turrets. The what are they called? Sentry guns can work on the inside if you're into that kind of thing and want to defend the inside, but that's not really that important. The other thing to note is your ship is going to guzzle fuel like a mofo. So yeah, when you're building it, do a lot of fuel tanks. Like I put 12 in here. You think that might be too much, and like most of them are T3, and just had some room to, you know, stash some more stuff in there in between the walls. So yeah, fill up the spaces with fuel tanks, and quite a bit of oxygen tanks too, if you could see that anywhere. Where's the oxygen tanks? Yeah, 11 O2 tanks. That's probably too much oxygen tanks, but they're pretty small, and I don't want to keep refilling stuff over and over again. It kind of sucks. But yeah, that's why you have the big fuel tanks and hold a lot of fuel, so you're not running out of fuel like in a huge capacity right away, because you're gonna want to keep your shields on at all times and everything like that as much as possible, and have everything you can possibly use to use it. And this is why I made the bike, because you know I get bored of traveling and running back and forth from there. Of course, I gotta be better at my controls. But yeah, I can go in here and go to the cockpit. And we can see how long it lasts. So right now the fuel is at like 430 minutes. So yeah, I didn't see. You can't do it unless your ship is docked, and this thing wasn't docked. Now it's docked. So thanks for that. So now you can take off once it's docked. So the only issue you might have with that is when you're transporting your big hovercrafts. And if they usually don't come with docking pads standard most of the time, so make sure they have a docking pad on there so they docked. But yeah, so when you're using your engines, this thing will only, you saw that there for a minute there, going up in your thrusters, when you're moving to just 200 minutes. So when you have your thrusters and shield on and you're firing, that will change dramatically. And so when you're flying around, you only have, even with all those tanks, it's only like, it's deceptive, because when you're moving, you're definitely burning your thrusters around. So yeah, lots of fuel tanks. I don't know what else to tell you that is not just common sense when you're building. So on your basic build on what you want to do, double your layers at least. The explosive damage, the AoE does not penetrate. I can't be 100% sure on that, but I did a test right here. You can see my test run right here firing on there. There was no damage on the second blocks in there, and I was looking for the damage. It just damaged the first area, but you can't have the huge damage weapons like you have on this one here. That's the best I could do with a land turret on a separate thing. So just be aware, when you're getting hit and your shields are down, your first layer is just going to be toasted right away from the first rocket launcher that hits it, basically. So about 2 layers at least before you want to get into vital components. More if you want, but don't worry about that. When the explosion says, you know, the radius of 4, it doesn't mean radius, it means diameter of 4, because these guys, you know, if you're playing this game, you know what I mean. These guys make no sense on like everything, and I'm pretty sure they don't know what a radius means, because they don't. Anyways, that is it. I think I covered everything, so thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time. Well, probably not, because I am pretty much sick of this game because of all the bad storyline stuff and nothing to do in it after you have a big capital ship that can take care of yourself, and it's just flying around to other systems. So I don't want to spend more time exploring at the moment. I might do it later, but who knows. Thanks for watching. See you later.